I knew coming into this weekend, obviously playing a great opponent in Florida State. They have another great ball club like they do every year. And I love our games with them. We always have very, very competitive games. But coming into this weekend, I knew that our starting pitching was going to be very important, that it was consistent and pitching deep into the game. And certainly we got that out of the freshman Brandon Waddell and our fifth-year senior Silverstein. Both of those guys did a tremendous job. That was key, that we didn't have to use much relief pitching in a doubleheader is because those two guys went out there where they were in complete control of the ball game. Obviously, we took some good swings off their starter in Game 1, Weaver. He's very, very talented. He's been pitching very hot for them, and I think our guys had a really good approach against him. And then, in the second ball game, Lee Brandt's good. Lee Brandt started the year as their number one starter. He's a great pitchability left-hander and did a nice job. But fortunately, Scott, just rose up and pitched another great ball game, and we played really solid defense in that second one.
Same thing all year, too, with just the clutch in. I think 7 of your 11 runs today came with 2 outs, including obviously Conto with that huge one. So big difference in game 2.
Well, when you have two high-caliber teams competing, most of the time it comes down to those clutch at-bats with runners in scoring position, because when you're facing the level of pitching, when a Virginia-Florida State matchup, you're not going to get very many opportunities. And it's a matter of who capitalizes on more of them, and certainly we did today.
Ryan, can you talk a little bit about sweeping Florida State?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, I hate doubleheaders. We did everything in our power last night to try to play a single game last night and go 1-1-1. I don't think anybody likes doubleheaders when you got a matchup like we have this weekend with Florida State. But certainly to sweep a doubleheader in this league, and especially against somebody of the caliber of Florida State, is a really nice feather in our cap. That being said, tomorrow's game counts the same in the league standings as either one of these games did. So, although it was a great day for us, we need to forget about it when we go to bed tonight and wake up and play the game again tomorrow, because I know Florida State will.
Weaver had, I think you've given up all of 8 runs coming in today to get him for 7. Was it anything that you guys saw, being able to take him deep 3 times? Anything strategic there?
Well, we knew he was a fastball pitcher. I mean, he's got a good arm. He's going to throw the ball up to 94, 95 miles an hour. He has very good location. He pitches his fastball on both sides of the plate. And there were just a couple of those situations where guys got good swings on the ball. Obviously, Derek Fisher showed the kind of power potential that he has to drive a ball to the opposite gap and hit it out of the ballpark is pretty special. And Nick put a good swing on a slider to hit the first home run. There wasn't anything that we saw other than we were going to go up there and we were going to be aggressive against him, and our guys got good passes.
You guys had a bit of a rough week last week. You just get by Old Dominion during the week. How important was this performance to come out and play the way they did today?
Well, I think it's huge. Like I said, you have two high caliber teams, and to come out and play like we did today and win 2 ball games is pretty special. The game on Wednesday night against Old Dominion was a dogfight. I mean, it came down to the end, and we had to scratch and find a way to win the ball game. And that's baseball. You're not going to roll through this season winning all your ball games. I think the true character of a team is how they respond maybe when you hit that lull or things don't go your way. And certainly losing to Radford a week ago and then dropping 2 out of 3 at Georgia Tech, I know our guys weren't happy. I know that they feel like they're more capable of winning more than that. And it was nice to see these last 3 ball games us respond.
You talked about Brandon as a freshman and not being perfect all the time. He kind of hit a little bit of a wall a couple weeks ago. Now back-to-back weeks now with
Yeah.
quality starts has to be encouraging.
Well, I'm really encouraged by Brandon Waddell the last two starts. I mean, that kid's got a lot on his shoulders to be a true freshman and be the starter, number one starter at the University of Virginia. Is a lot of pressure, and certainly he's earned it. He's earned that role, and there was a handful of ball games there in a row where he scuffled a little bit, and that can happen to a freshman. They're pitching in this league and what teams are trying to do to you and trying to be consistent. But I'm just really proud of him, where he ran into that tough rut. Now he's dug himself out and has had two back-to-back high-quality starts for us.
Talk a little bit about Scott, just his
Yeah.
career, and to see him where he is right now.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about with Scott Silverstein. The story's been written. It's been a lot of talk about what has happened his last 5 years. Coming when this kid committed to us out of high school, we had two players committed to us from the state of Maryland. One was Scott Silverstein, and one was Danny Holtzen, and they were in the same graduating class. And I'll tell you this: when we saw the two of them, Scott Silverstein was a better pitcher than Danny Holtzen, and it's just one of those unfortunate things, that his senior year in high school, a couple games into the spring, he hurts his shoulder and, has a tough time recovering. And, but this kid has shown that last year and then this year, what he's truly made of, and what he's done through his time here, and especially the back half of his career here, says all that you need to know about who he is as a person. This kid is determined to, pitch consistent baseball for his team here at the University of Virginia. Somebody's going to give him an opportunity to pitch beyond this, and it wouldn't surprise me at all for what this kid has done that, he has a career long after his time here. He has gotten a lot better. He really has. Last year, I think, was a learning experience for him. He started in our rotation, and halfway through the year, he had a tough time, and he just hadn't pitched every week for 15 weeks ever in his career. I think last year was a truly great learning experience for him, and he's applied that, and he's a lot better this year. His velocity is very, very good. He'll flash you some 93, 94s up there, and he was mixing and matching his pitches today, and there's a maturity about him, and that's great to see when you have what a lot of people would consider a relatively young pitching staff. So.
Did you guys feed off the energy in here today? Obviously, with record crowds expected all weekend.
Yeah.
Feed off that. I was kind of dampened, obviously, not being able to play last night, but
Right.
get you guys through 18 innings.
Well, we're very, very fortunate here that over the years we have built tremendous fan support. To have 5,000 people in the stands, I'm convinced if we had a stadium that seated 8,000, we'd fill it. But it's a great environment. A lot of people have worked hard to make that happen, and certainly the players that make the decision to come to the University of Virginia, they make the decision because, one, they get a great education here that's going to carry on for the rest of their life. Secondly, they know that they're going to develop as players in this program to advance their career beyond the University of Virginia. And they come here because they want to play winning championship baseball and play in an environment like we had here today. And what better situation could you ask for as a college baseball player? Yeah, I'll tell you. My plan coming in today was, to play Nick Howard the first ball game and then sit him the second one. Obviously he's going to be our starter tomorrow. When this situation presented itself against NC State a few weeks ago, I did play him at third base in both ball games, and he started the next day and did great. But we're at this point in the season where we're at the 75, 80% mark. of the regular season, and we have to be smart. You know, Nick Howard's got a tremendous future, not only in our program but in the game of baseball, and you know, we just have to be smart about how we handle him, and hopefully that means he'll be a little bit fresher tomorrow and be ready to give us a quality start. Anybody else?
Florida State did just 2 runs in 2 games, not to mention just 1 hit in that second game. Could you just expound on the job your pitching staff did today to be able to hold a team like that down like you did?
Remarkable day for our pitching staff, really. You know, Coach Kuhn is the best that there is out there, not only for, you know, developing those guys and getting them to where they need to be, but, you know, evaluating an opponent and getting our pitchers to execute a plan to have success. And that certainly showed itself today. You know, it was a total group effort. We have not had to use, you know, Nathan Kirby or Josh Spores or Austin Young yet. And so we're going to have pretty much a fully loaded bullpen tomorrow and ready to go. And you know, that's how you win championship baseball right there. Sure, would we like to knock the fences down in both games and score a bunch of runs? We'd love that. But you win it by high-quality pitching and playing good defense. If you get that on a consistent basis, you're going to have a championship-type program, and we certainly got that today.